Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Quarantini Cocktail Hour with me, Avery Raquel, and I would assume you'd know that since you're here. But thanks for joining me. I'm so thrilled. I have two incredible guests today, and but I do want to warn you, I've been a little under the weather. Nothing to be concerned about, but if the show happens to end slightly early, that would be the reason why. But all that said, it's going to be a really wonderful show, and I'm really excited. Hopefully we don't have any mic issues. My fingers are crossed. Cross them with me. So, yeah. If you had been voting for me on CBC, thank you. I appreciate it so much. I'm not sure what's going to be happening with that next. I guess I myself even have to stay tuned, but the next round of voting would be June 1st. Granted, I get into the next round, but that's how that works. Anywho, I'm going to do a couple songs off the top for you, and then I'll bring on my first lovely guest, and we'll be good to go. I'm going to use the good old ginormous guitar for this one. Okay. Hopefully, you can hear both of us. I know I messed up, I'm just a loser, shouldn't be with ya. Guess I'm a quitter while you're out there drinking. I'm just here thinking about where I should have been. I've been lonely, water pouring down from the ceiling. I knew this would happen, still hard to believe it. Maybe I'm dramatic, I don't wanna seem it. No, I don't wanna panic. I'm a sad girl in this big world. It's a mad world. All of my friends, they know what's happening. You're a bad thing. I know I messed up, I'm just a loser, shouldn't be with ya. Guess I'm a quitter while you're out there drinking. I'm just here thinking about where I should have been. I've been lonely, la 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 la, lonely, super lonely, la 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 la, lonely, super lonely. Now I'm in the bathtub crying, think I'm slowly sinking, bubbles in my eyes now, maybe I'm just dreaming. I don't wanna panic, just trying to get a back rub. I'm a sad girl in this big world, it's a mad world. All of my friends, they know what's happening. You're a bad thing. I know I messed up, I'm just a loser, shouldn't be with ya. Guess I'm a quitter while you're out there drinking. I'm just here thinking about where I should have been. I've been lonely, la 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 la, lonely, super lonely, la 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 la, lonely, super lonely. I know I fucked up, no, I'm just a loser, shouldn't be with ya. Guess I'm a critter, la 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 la, super lonely. Just a little song by Benny to get us started today. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm gonna do another tune before I bring on our first guest. So this is a song that I heard really, 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 really recently. And I'm sure you've heard me sing Eloise songs on here before, but I am obsessed with Eloise. This artist from the UK, and Bruno Manger, who I talk about a lot, is her producer. And so this is one of her most recent songs that she released, and I'm obsessed with it. I listen to her songs, and I'm always like, damn it, I was too late. I wish I wrote that. But she beats me to it, and she's such a beautiful writer. So this is a song called Who's She by Eloise. Hold me, baby, I've been feeling lonely lately. I said I've missed the old me. Who's she anyway? I've been feeling sort of strange and distant. I know I could take a plane back this instant, but you know I hate change. And listen, I'm scared to run away. I've been smoking more, I've been eating less, and now my chest is sore and God, my head's a mess. Wish I could close my eyes, let all the colors fade, 'cause no one told me to get used to feeling so afraid. So pull me to the ground from the ceiling. It won't hurt 'cause I've lost all feeling now. Pull me back to the ground. Let me lay with you in our linen. Kiss my lips till my head is spinning round. Pull me back to the ground. No spare time to roam another plane to somewhere that's not home. If I could get some fresh air with you alone, I would come undone. I've been staying out so that I don't think about the life that's ours, that I killed to be in. If I could close my eyes, I'd let the colors fade, 'cause no one told me to get used to feeling so afraid. So pull me to the ground from the ceiling. It won't hurt 'cause I've lost all feeling now. Pull me back to the ground. Let me lay with you in our linen. Kiss my lips till my head is spinning round. Pull me back to the ground. Let me lay with you in our linen. Kiss my lips till my head is spinning round. Pull me back to the ground. Hold me, baby, I've been feeling lonely lately. I said I miss the old me. Who's she anyway? Right? It's such a beautiful song. Ugh, I wish I wrote it. It's too late now. All right. Well, with that said, I think it's time to bring on our first guest. And hopefully, I'm going to say her name right, but she can feel free to correct me. So she's a fellow Canadian. She's out west, from out west, but I believe, and she'll correct me, but I believe she's in Nashville now. But she's a singer-songwriter, country singer-songwriter, and she's won many, many awards from a very early age. Recorded in Nashville, released her first single to radio in 2016. She's toured and performed with a bunch of famous artists across North America. So please welcome Shantaia.
Hey, you said it right.
Perfect. Yay. Do you get that a lot?
Yes, all the time.
Okay.
It's not an easy name, so it doesn't offend me.
It's a beautiful name.
Thank you. And your voice is beautiful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. How are you? How are things with all of this craziness going on?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. It's been pretty chill in Nashville. I'm fully vaccinated, so
oh my gosh, congrats.
Thanks. Yeah, it feels good, and I'm hoping to come back home soon when they kind of lift some border restrictions so I can go see my family again.
Yeah. How long has it been?
Well, I was home for Christmas. Luckily,
nice.
Things weren't too locked down or crazy, but it's been good. I mean, FaceTime and all that fun stuff. Like it's better and easier to stay in touch with family nowadays. I can't imagine this happening before technology.
But, oh my God, no, I know. I think about that so much, and I don't know what I would have done with myself. But then again, I wouldn't know otherwise, right? So I would probably have been fine. But how has everything going on kind of affected your artistry or yourself as a musician? Has it changed anything for you? Or
at first, it definitely hit hard, and I think that was for a lot of people, trying to figure out how to navigate this as an artist was crazy. We all threw ourselves into live streams, and Instagram was mad at us for all that.
Yeah.
We overloaded the internet, but I definitely kind of navigated it. I was releasing music right off the hop of the pandemic, and a lot of people stopped and they pulled the reins back, and they were like, oh no, we're going to wait till this is done and release, later on. And I just told myself and my team, I'm like, nope, I've waited long enough, and we're just going to throw it out there and see what happens anyways. So I'm really thankful I did, because it's really helped me rather than hurt me. I definitely miss playing shows and the traveling aspect of the industry, but I think I've learned how to navigate it and work around, COVID.
Yeah, that's such a positive outlook to it. I mean, everyone's going through something different, but I think it's good to have this time to focus on ourselves and what we can get out of it.
Totally. I was actually just having this conversation with on another live stream a couple nights ago, how the pandemic actually kind of pushed me into music full time. I was working as an educational assistant, a substitute. Okay. And when this all hit, I lost my day job, and I was kind of like, well, I guess I'm just going to start writing a ton and apply for my visa to move to Nashville. So it kind of pushed me in the right direction.
That's great. And yeah, so your newest release was in 2020, April, I believe. So was that kind of a shock to you when did you know that you wanted to release it at that time, or did it just happen to be the strange circumstances?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, I released kind of my comeback single, I Wish You Would, in January, which was before we knew what was happening. Mm-hmm. And then I released to DSPs and stuff. And then March, I had planned for a radio release, and with the EP to follow in April. So it definitely was a weird thing, because it just hit us. And then I was like, well, we're going to keep doing this, I guess, and just go ahead and move forward. When you upload to your TuneCore and stuff, it's do we delete it? Do we just cancel it? No. So we just went forward with it. Yeah. And I'm really glad we did.
Yeah. And you're also an RBCX Music alumni participator. What was that kind of like for you? How did you find out about it, and what has it kind of done for you as an artist?
Yeah, so I actually, I think the first time I heard about it, I had a friend, a fellow country artist, a part of it, Brittany Cannell, and then Shannon Ella, who is a huge, music supporter, was posting about it on her Instagram stories when they were having a new round of it. So I checked it out, and what a great program to support emerging artists, especially in a time like this. So I applied and got in.
Awesome. That's so great. So I know you haven't been, I guess, able to perform. See, I don't know what the circumstances are where you are, but is live music a thing over there?
Yeah, it's alive and well right now. I know I hate to say that to those who haven't been able to perform like yourself,
Yeah.
but the last couple months I've been playing a ton of shows. Obviously, up until a little while ago, like Tennessee dropped mask restrictions. Some businesses are still operating under mandatory masks. For my own safety, I'm still wearing one most places, you know, especially when like they're really crowded and crammed. But you know, I don't know. We have to find a way to get back to normal somehow in some way, right? So if it means kind of doing what Tennessee's doing, where we're just kind of jumping back in, a lot of us are vaccinated. Maybe that's how we got to do it. I don't know. Nobody knows.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I don't know how recent it was, but you did this full band show in Nashville. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, that experience for you, and are there more to come, stuff like that?
Yeah, my full band show that I played in Nashville was a while ago now. I was chosen for Americana Fest through Breakout West and SAS Music, and they flew me to Nashville, and I played such a cool. It was in East Nashville called the Groove Records, and it was like a backyard barbecue type thing. And yeah, I had the best of the best playing for me. I'm actually playing a show on Wednesday, Bus Call, which is technically supposed to be a full band thing, but because of COVID, they stripped things back a little bit too. So I'm going to be playing with the guitar player who played with me at Americana Fest. I write with him a ton as well, and he's playing with me on Wednesday as well, Paul Sykes. So
that's so awesome.
Yeah, we're getting back to normal, but haven't played a full band show in a long time.
Yeah, agreed. Well, I'm really excited to hear you sing for us today.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about what you're going to sing, and then I'll let you go ahead.
Totally, yeah. So this song is called Had a Good Weekend. It's my current single at Canadian Country Radio and anywhere you listen to music, pretty much. So I wrote it with a fellow Saskatchewan native who's been in Nashville for many years now, Ryan Sorstad. And we wrote it on a rainy day. I was still back home in Saskatchewan. He was there helping with harvest. And he drove into Saskatoon and it was raining and we were, you know, kind of in a funk. And I was like, no, like, let's write something upbeat. Let's write something fun. And I had this verse already and this chorus melody. And he helped me just package it all together and tie a little pretty bow on it. And I knew that this song was going to be the first one that I recorded for the next, you know, project that I'm working on. So this was the first release. It's called Had a Good Weekend.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Clock hits 5 and we're leaving. Couple bottles of wine, the music's playing. Everybody swaying, everybody drinking. Yeah, you ain't gonna party alone. All the girls are slaying, got the boys to thinking that they ain't going home alone. Nah. We don't need a reason, we're just kicking off the weekend. Getting our chill on still, the night is long, gonna do it all over again. Sipping on Grey Goose whiskey, feel good tipsy. If you wake up Monday morning still hungover with your friends, you had a good weekend. Oh, 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 you had a good weekend. Oh, oh, oh. You drunk dolls, you text an address. Leave it up to Kyle to get arrested. Yeah, he did. Got the room spinning, karaoke singing. Let's go, girls, Shantaia on. You're living in the moment, rocking and rolling. Come on, y'all, sing along. We don't need a reason, we're just kicking wake up Monday morning still hungover with your friends, you had a good weekend. Oh, you had a good weekend. The neon lights, a damn good time. Yeah, that's our style. The feel good vibes. We don't need a reason, we're just kicking off the weekend, getting our chill till the night is long. Gonna do it all over again, sipping on Grey Goose whiskey, feel good tipsy. If you wake up Monday morning still hungover with your friends, you had a good weekend. You had a good weekend. Yeah.
Yay! That was so good. That's gonna be literally stuck in my head for the rest of the day now.
That's what we plan to do as songwriters, right?
Yes, it is. Oh, that was so awesome. You have
Thank
such a
you.
great energy about you, and the people are loving it in the comments.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I have it on our private chat right now with the producers. So wow, there's so many comments. Thanks, everybody.
Well, thank you for coming on. So are there any like kind of upcoming maybe virtual events that people can watch, or even live events that you want to plug? I don't know who's going to be there right now.
Yeah.
But
This was kind of the last of a lot of live streams. I was doing a ton recently. I've got one kind of podcast thing I'm doing with Celine, I'm not sure how she pronounces it.
Yeah.
Next week we're doing like a pre-recorded thing that she'll be posting on our Country with Celine Instagram page.
Awesome.
A lot, but other than that, we're just, the song hit 59 on Billboard in Canada, so we're hoping that people are requesting it at their local radio station, any country radio station in Canada, so that we can climb into that top 50.
Yay, that's so awesome. And before I let you go, everywhere that people can find you, I know it's scrolling down there, but just say it anyways.
Yeah, so at Shantaia Music is pretty much Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Shantaia, you can see how it's spelt on screen, which is always lovely because I usually have to spell it out for everyone. But
Yes.
Yeah, at Shantaia Music.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks for having me, Avery.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You sound great, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye. So that was Shantaia. She sounds so awesome. I do have a soft spot for country music, I have to say. I love country music. It's like the best summer music to listen to. I feel like it's also like a pretty big Canada thing. Like we have a festival in Ontario. I've never been, but I want to go, maybe after COVID. But it's called Boots and Hearts, and it's definitely something that I'd want to attend. But one of the artists who was showcased at Boots and Hearts, Morgan Wallen, he says that that's the loudest crowd he's ever had in his entire career, and he's pretty successful. But yeah, Canada has a pretty niche market for country music. Anyways, so thank you, Shantaia. But now I'm gonna do a little bit of this day in music as per usual. So here we go. Do we have everything ready? Yes, we do. In 1961, Ricky Nelson started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. single charts with Traveling Man. Sam Cooke turned this song down. Silly thing that Sam Cooke did. In 1962, Chubby Checker won a Grammy for the best rock and roll recording for Let's Twist Again. Pretty crazy. In 1965, the Beach Boys... Oh, I zoomed in. The Beach Boys started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. single charts with Help Me Rhonda. The group's second U.S. #1... that was their second U.S. #1 recording. But the recording session was actually interrupted by the Wilsons brothers' drunken father, Murray. and they kept the whole recording. Pretty funny. Anyways, in 1969, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, without Young at this point, released their self-titled debut on Atlantic record label, and pretty much all of the songs were in top 40. Almost. In 1971, the Rolling Stones started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. single charts with Brown Sugar. Pretty great band. Some people are impartial. I don't know why. I feel like they're pretty sick band. Then now Born on these birthdays, here we have in 1967, Noel Gallagher. Born in 1975, Melanie Brown, Scary Spice, if you will. So yeah, that's kind of our music history. But going back up to the nonsense about Sam Cooke turning stuff down, I'm going to do a song that he didn't turn down, and probably for the best, because I can't picture anybody else singing this song besides Sam Cooke. And I hope you know the song because it was like one of his most famous songs. Anywho. Here's Bring It On Home to Me, and I'm going to try to play it properly. It's actually... never mind. I'll play it fine. If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. I know I laughed when you left. Now I only hurt myself. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'll give you jewelry and money too. That ain't all I do for you. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Yeah, yeah, you know I'll always be your slave till I'm buried in my grave. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me. Bring it on home to me. That's what we're gonna call my version. I remember yes, I did. I was just going to talk about this, Sydney. Yeah, it's on my Instagram, and it's so cute. I miss singing with them quite a bit. I wonder if I could find it real quick on my phone just to show you, because that was like the first 2 people that I ever met. Here it is, at Humber, and they took me in because they were already friends before I got there, and then they were like, do you want to sing together? And I was like, yeah. Here it is.
ever change your mind about leaving me behind. Oh, bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it on home to me.
Yeah, such a cute little 3-part harmony vibe going on there. Yeah, so you can go check that out. It's on my Instagram. Thanks, yeah. So I actually recently just had a little live stream on this Instagram page called Lennon Bus, which is for the John Lennon Songwriting Competition. And a while ago, I was a finalist for the jazz category with my song Dreaming. And so I just did a live stream with them, and I've applied again to the John Lennon Songwriting Contest with a couple of my new album tunes, which I'm excited to be able to share at some point. Yeah, so the Instagram is at Lennon Bus, so you can go check that out. They do live streams quite a bit on Instagram, and yeah, they kind of took me in, and they've had me on a couple times now, but my live stream recording is on their Instagram page if you want to go watch it, is what I'm trying to say. Anywho, I'll move on now. So I'm excited to invite my next guest on. So she's also been a featured artist for Heart of Indie, who, if you've seen some of their comments, they're watching today. And I don't want to say any of this wrong, but I want her to correct me if I do, because I'd like to know how to say it. But I'm going to try. I just can't speak today. I guess that's the vibe of the show. She was a Rarotongan New Zealander and moved to Toronto at age 16 to attend school at the Randolph Academy for musical theater. She released her debut EP in 2018, and she has a new release out now. She's now, I believe, in Vancouver, but she's been super busy during the pandemic, like some 200-something live streams, crazy. So hopefully she's here and ready to go, but please welcome Nikki Kennedy.
Hi, Avery. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm so good. Your cover was, oh my goodness, mind-blowing. I love your interpretation.
Thank you. How are you? How are things? How's all the craziness?
It's been crazy, that's for sure. Good, overall. Overall, really good.
Yeah. How is that kind of, like, has it affected you as an artist? I mean, everyone's been going through something different.
Yeah, it's interesting, because I think if you'd asked me that a year ago, I probably would have had a very different answer. But now I want to say it ended up being a pivotal sort of shift for me in terms of forcing me to do things that I probably would never have done otherwise, like live streaming, talking to cameras, that kind of thing.
Also, just before you go on, I was going to ask, can you turn up the gain in your microphone just a bit?
Absolutely. Is that better?
That's much better.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I think, it was hard for everybody having gigs canceled and all that kind of stuff was really hard. But then being forced to pivot and making the best out of a strange situation and sort of a whole industry proving that it is resilient and music matters, I think it's been a good year.
Yeah, it's been interesting, that's for sure.
Definitely.
So what was it like living in New Zealand? So were you born there?
Yeah, born and raised.
Awesome. Because I could never tell. There's no accent or anything.
I know. It's one of those things, like, I took dialect reduction in school, and then when I graduated, I was, like, working in bars and, trying to make ends meet, and everyone was always like, what? What did you say?
No.
So I just got in the habit. It's, like, just a habit where I was like, oh, I'll just, like, kind of take my school acting training or whatever to be able to communicate better with
That's
guest
actually really
work.
interesting.
And now I've lived here long enough.
Yeah. Do you ever wish you stayed in New Zealand? I mean, the way that they've progressed with this whole
I was gonna say
pandemic
the
thing.
last year, sure.
Yeah. But like
They
in
have
general,
festivals.
like do you ever wish that you had stayed, or are you thrilled to be here in Canada?
I'm very grateful to be here. I definitely miss it. It's home, and like my parents and family are still there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm the only one here. So yeah, I have my moments, but I've spent my entire adult life in Canada now. So,
Yeah.
my life is here and it is a wonderful country. And I'm
Yeah.
very grateful to be able to stay and
Yes.
live
Absolutely.
life.
Yeah. So you have a musical theater background, and you went to Randolph. So what made you want to pursue maybe strictly just music and like a pop-ish genre even?
Yeah, so I would say like music was always my foundational thing. And I fell into theater as a teenager because I just wanted to sing like all the
Yeah.
time. And I like just any opportunity to do that. Yeah. And then I got the bug. I know you were talking about, but like you get that bug, you get
Yes.
to tell stories, you get to sing, and you have people watching you every night, and it's magical. So
Yeah.
I thought if I could be skilled or get training in multiple areas, then regardless of what I did with my performance life, then I would have a strong basis for being able to do that. And to be able to tell stories through music, I think is super important as well.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, plus I'm like, I mean, I moved when I was 16, so maybe it's like a thing, but I like to do things when I want to do them. Like when I get an idea, I like to just like do it.
Right.
So part of the reason I wanted to go to Randolph was because they had like a condensed accelerated program. So I graduated when I was 18
Right.
and I was like, okay, then I can have my master's by the time I'm 20 or 21, and which I didn't end up doing. But that was the original thing. I was like,
Yes.
okay, I'm just going to try and do this as quickly as possible and see what happens.
Right.
And then, of course, life sort of gets in the way a little
It
bit.
does.
And you realize that's not actually always the best thing for you. But yeah, I've been working in theater a long time now. And a few years ago, I had been playing in lots of cover bands and doing shows on contracts and just always writing for myself because I've always had to do that and
Yeah.
had to communicate. And then a couple years ago, I was like, maybe somebody else wants to hear what I do
Yeah.
beyond just performing covers and telling other people's stories. I was like, maybe someone wants to hear what I have to say.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then Creative BC in the province of British Columbia was kind enough to support my first record. So
That's awesome.
that sort of kick-started everything and haven't looked back since.
That's so great. So you have a few new releases out. What's kind of the inspiration behind those, and like where do you find the inspiration for your writing, and maybe even other writers that you would go to?
Ooh.
It's a tricky one.
Everyone. So the most recent release, The Last Night Dancing with You, I actually wrote in the early months of lockdown.
Yes.
As a lot of my, a lot of my writing over the last year has been very specific. But what was unique about this song was that I was so tired of writing sad songs about the world. And
Yes. Naturally.
not to like take that away, like I wrote many of them, but I got to a point where I was like, I need something to
Yes.
get out of this. Like I need to feel better right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what happens if I write from a place of how I want to feel or where I want to be instead of where I'm at? So I thought about all of my favorite musical styles that make me feel good. And I decided to kind of like flip the pandemic narrative and say, okay, if the world's ending, if this is it, if this is the last night of the world, how would I choose to spend it?
Right.
And for me, that's just dancing the night away, because I love to do that with my loved ones and things like that. So I was like,
yeah.
do it.
Well, and I also noticed, so you did a few things for Desjardins, and I'm assuming that was at the beginning of the pandemic, because I did something similar with their, it was kind of like the Send a Solo campaign,
Yes.
but I did it on my front porch and sang to my neighbor. So I did the neighbor one.
Oh my goodness, that's so cool.
Yeah, so the one right before the one that you did. So you sent 3 virtual solos, I believe.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you
Oh
get a
my-
good response from those people? Like,
Yeah, it was beautiful. Heartbreaking, just because. So for context, for anybody watching, Desjardins launched this national campaign where people could nominate members of their community who were really having like a tough time with the effects of COVID, and they could have a song sent to them that was just for them.
it's
So for me, I had someone that was a nurse in Toronto. I had a 90-year-old community member who was in complete isolation, wasn't able to see anyone. And then I had somebody's grandmother as well.
That's so sweet. Like,
Yeah.
it's stuff like that, like, that makes you feel good, I guess, in these gross times.
That connection, and I think being able to do that through music is such a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. Well, I'm really excited to hear you sing. So if you want to talk about what you're going to do, and then you can take it away.
Sure. So I'm going to do The Last Night, Dancing with You.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is my latest single. I hope you like it. I hope it makes you feel good.
Yay.
That's all I want.
What would you say if a month ago I told you it was all gonna change? We'd be desperate for kindness for the people's sake. Not so sure the outcome, we could only pray. We'd be one of the ones to survive it, would we? But love it. It's the last night. Don't know if we'll see morning. Wouldn't feel right if it's not your hand. I'm holding close to me tight. Even if the world was ending, if it's the last night, I wanna spend it dancing with you. Spend it dancing with you. What would you say if a month ago I told you we'd made some mistakes? As we put our past behind us, move beyond blame and closer to the lightness, would we? With love, we do. With love, and you. If it's the last night, don't know if we'll see morning. Would feel right if it's not your hand. I'm holding close to me tight. Even if the world was ending, if it's the last night, I wanna spend it dancing with you. I wanna spend it dancing with you.
close to me. Yeah. If the world was ending, if it's the last night, I wanna spend it dancing with you. I wanna spend it. I wanna spend it. Yeah. I wanna spend it. I wanna spend it. Yeah. I wanna spend it dancing with you.
Yay! I always feel like people need to clap and like it's live, so like no one can. Oh, but it sounds so awesome.
Thank you.
So yeah, that made me want to dance. It was awesome.
Yes, that's the goal. That's the
Yes.
goal. Move that body.
Yes. So before I let you go, what do you have coming up that people can look forward to, and where can they find that stuff?
Of course. Well, I live stream 4 times a week at the moment on Volume. So if anybody's interested, volume.tv/Nikki Kennedy. It's totally free, 100% free. And I hang out for, like 8 hours a week and play tunes, covers, take requests, do live plays, have chats, super casual conversation. So if anybody's interested, that's usually where I'm hanging out. I do have a new single coming this summer, which I'm very excited about.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm on all the social medias and the streaming services and all the
Perfect.
things.
All the things. All the things that you need to be on these days.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it so much. And I know Heart of Indie did too. They were commenting and whatnot. So yes, thanks
Shout
for
out
coming
Heart of
on,
Indie.
and I appreciate it. And I hope you stay safe. And
You
all
too.
that, all
Please
that
take
jazz.
care.
All right. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye. So that was Nikki Kennedy. So sweet. She has such a great voice, and this really great energy about her, where it's like calming to talk to her. Anyways, so before I get wrapped up, I'll sing another tune. But I do want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me and all these other artists that come on here. I appreciate it. And I guess we'll see what happens with CBC Searchlight. But if something does happen, then I will require you to vote for me every single day again. I don't ask for much. I just to vote for me. Okay, so I'm gonna do a song that I wrote not too long ago, and it doesn't have a name, so I'm not gonna call it anything. But yeah, let me just get myself situated here. Okay. So yeah, thanks for coming here. This is a song I wrote and it doesn't have a name. Yeah, you can send in names if you want to name the song. I don't know. If you have an idea after I sing it, you can name it. How was I supposed to know that you changed my mind like a person changes the radio? Who knew I would fall so hard? I didn't have a clue, but it's true, I've fallen for you. You took the words right off of my tongue. You knew I needed to learn how to walk before I could run. How long will my heart stay true? Haven't got a clue, but it's true, I've fallen for you, and I know like a storm is inside of my head, and I know I am naive with my heart on my sleeve. Promise you won't leave. You knew me well enough to take things slow. You knew flowers need water before they can even try to grow. Who knew I would fall so hard? I didn't have a clue, but it's true, I've fallen for you. Oh, no. Who knew I would fall so hard? I didn't have a clue, but it's true, I've fallen for you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. That was my song. I'll consider everyone's name suggestions. So I appreciate you all being here. The next show is June 12th. Thank you. I wouldn't know that unless it popped up on the screen. Anyways, thank you so much. Next show, we have the one and only Captain Eddie, our one of our leaders at Heart of Indie Radio, and I'm looking forward to chatting with him on the show. I chat with him every week, so this will make it twice a week. But yeah, so looking forward to that, and so stay tuned. Anyways, thank you so much, and I will see y'all on June 12th.